be another makeup stash video. I noticed in my last one I got a lot of requests to do my concealer collection. So that is what I am doing today. For those of you who wanted a facial mist, like setting sprays, like mists, facial mist, makeup mist video, that is going to be my next makeup stash video. I will walk you through my entire like face mist collection, setting sprays and all that. But today we're going to be looking at my concealer collection. I kind of feel like concealers are a little bit boring since I can't really show you swatches or anything like that because they're all like my kind of skin tone or a little bit lighter and stuff. But it was requested, so let's just get on into it. So the first concealer I'm going to share with you guys, I'm just showing you because I haven't tried it yet, but I want your opinion on it. These are the Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealers. I have mine in light golden and fair. This is what they look like. I have heard a lot of buzz about the Amazing Concealer, but I want to know your thoughts on it. Like, tell me what you use it for, if you've used it, and is it good? What is it? So the first one I want to share with you guys is probably my newest drugstore concealer. This is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. It says it's a concealer and a corrector, and it's oil-free. This is supposedly supposed to help your skin over time. Like, if you use it every day, over time, your skin is supposed to look better. I don't exactly know if that's true. I'm not sure if I believe that or not, but I've actually been really, really liking this concealer. It doesn't have super full coverage, which it might throw some people off. It threw me off a little bit at first, but I really like this on an everyday basis. I don't wear makeup every day, but when I just want something to throw on and cover a little bit, I will use the Better Skin Concealer because it's very lightweight and it's not heavy under my eyes. It doesn't really crease if I set it, and it's just comfortable to wear. So I have really, really been liking this one. Okay, so now let's talk about the best concealer I have ever used in my entire freaking life. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I have mine in fair neutral, light warm, and light neutral. I will say that this is the biggest pain in the ass when trying to find your color. I had to buy 3 because I just didn't know. So now I mix and match them depending if I'm self-tanning or not. A lot of the times I will mix light neutral and light warm when I'm tan, and then when I'm not tan at all, I will use fair neutral. But fair neutral is like almost white. So I will say that the color selection sucks. It sucks so bad. Urban Decay needs to do something about it because like the lightest one is too light, but then the one right after that is like dark as hell. I don't really love the color selection, but I look past it because the formula is amazing. It's just a doe foot wand applicator type of thing, so it's really, really easy to apply, unlike the Pro Longwear where it's a pump that squirts out way too much. I love this. It's my favorite because it's very lightweight underneath the eyes, yet it's full coverage. It looks flawless. It looks like second skin with full coverage, which is so rare because usually if something is full coverage, it's a little bit heavy. Not this. I cannot recommend this enough. Next up is the NYX HD Concealer. Now I keep this because I keep trying to love it. It is full coverage and it does look really nice when you apply it, but it can make my under eyes look a little bit cakey. I have dry skin. Maybe this is better for oily skin, but if I use too much, it will get cakey. I have to use a lightweight, more liquidy concealer on top of this in order for it to blend out because it's hard to blend out for me. Like, I'll apply it underneath my eyes, and even though it's brightening and it's nice and it looks flawless, it's so hard for me to blend. I still use it, and I can make it work using it in conjunction with another concealer. Okay, next up, it's the ever so popular NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have mine in 2 shades. I have one in custard that if I am super self-tan, I could use this under my eyes, but typically when I'm not self-tan, this matches my face. And then I have this one in vanilla, which is the one I always use underneath my eyes. I love this concealer because to me it's multifunctional. For example, I think it's really nice underneath the eyes. It is heavy and it is a little bit thick. I will say that, but when you blend it out, especially with a beauty blender, it blends out really easily, and it looks fresh on the skin. So I do really like this underneath my eyes. It can crease a little bit, so I really have to set it immediately. But if I do that, I like it because it looks nice. But I also love it on blemishes. That's where I use custard a lot on my blemishes because it's full coverage on me, and it just covers up my blemishes really, really easily. So I love the fact that It's good on blemishes and it's good underneath my eyes as well. Okay, so this is my favorite drugstore concealer ever, and it is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And I have 4 because I love this concealer so much. I have 2 in 15 Fair, which I use this underneath my eyes. It's more of a pinky kind of color, so I really like it underneath my eyes. And then I have this one in the shade 10, which, like I said, for the NARS one, if I am super tan, I can use this under my eyes, but most of the time I use this on my face. And then I have this one in the shade Deep because I use it to contour. This is all around like one of the best concealers I have ever used in my entire life. It is super creamy. A lot of people say it's a dupe for the NARS one, and I can see where they get that, but I feel like this one is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more lightweight. It's not as full coverage, but it does have really good coverage. And this one's a little bit dewier. It has like a luminous, not like, I don't know how to explain it. When I put it on my entire face and I put it underneath my eyes and stuff, it looks fresh and radiant. Like, it almost looks dewy. And it's also another multifunctional concealer because I do use 10 Light on blemishes, and it covers them up really well. I've also used this as foundation, like, all over my face. I love this concealer. And it blends like a dream, which is why I like a deep shade to contour with. Honestly, if you haven't tried the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, you need to. They're so good. Okay, so this concealer is the Cover FX Cream Concealer. I have mine in G Light. I use this on blemishes. Like if I'm having a very, very blemishy month, if it's that time of the month, or I use a product that really broke me out or something, I will typically use the Cover FX Concealer because it has really good coverage. It's full coverage. It's too thick for an under-eye concealer. I would not recommend this underneath the eyes, but it's a nice blemish concealer. And I like to put this on top of my blemishes because Cover FX is one of those companies that actually has pretty good ingredients. Okay, so I loved these for a long time, and I still love these. These are great concealers. These are the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealers. These are just a few dollars, and they're so good. They are so comparable to the MAC Pro Longwear Concealers. They have full coverage, really good full coverage, really easy to blend. I have mine in Almond. I like this one to contour with. And then I have Creamy Beige and Natural. I use these both underneath my eyes. Natural, I use it because it's a little bit more pink. So when I have really dark, bad under eye circles, I use Natural. And if not, I'll use Creamy Beige because Natural is a little bit peachier, so it counteracts like the blues in my dark circles. But it's a great concealer. I just don't use it as much because the packaging is such a biatch. It's first world problems, I know. But for me, it's really hard to squeeze the product out of this. I don't know if I'm like a weakling and everybody else can squeeze it with no problem, but like I'm like forcing, and it's tough. So the only negative I have to say about this is the packaging. But the price is so on point that I look past it, and it's still a great concealer quality-wise. And I think it would be pretty good for blemishes as well, but it doesn't crease really bad under my eyes, which is why I like it under the eyes too. This is the IT Cosmetics CCI Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream plus Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum SPF 50. That's a mouthful. I like this concealer, but I never use it on camera because I only use this on days where I'm not really wearing makeup. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me put just a little bit of something underneath my eyes. And I'll typically go for this, especially if I'm out in the sun, because this is SPF 50, which is amazing. It's very, very lightweight. Like, it's light coverage. That's what I meant to say. It just evens out the skin tone under there. It covers something, but not too much. And I really like the fact that it comes with one of these applicators, like, it's very, very cooling under the eyes. This metal tip makes it really fun to put on because it's very cooling, and then in the mornings, like, wakes up your under eyes, and I like it. It's not my favorite, but I love it on a day where I don't really want to wear makeup. This is technically a concealer, so yeah, I'll mention it. This is the Maybelline Dream Lumi Touch Highlighting Concealer. So this is basically just a concealer to highlight underneath the eyes. There's not much coverage to this whatsoever, but it's my favorite highlighting concealer from the drugstore. I know L'Oreal has one that's very similar to this. It's called, like, I don't know what it's called, but it's very similar to this, where it has like a, but I like this one so much more. This one has a little bit more coverage, and it's a little bit prettier. I don't know. I love this. This is the thing that I love mixing with the NYX HD concealer because it just makes this one easier to blend. This is the ever so popular MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I have mine in NW20, even though it looks brown. It looks darker than my face. It's not that dark. I get mine in NW. I like pinkier concealers underneath my eyes because if I use a concealer that's too yellow, I don't like it underneath my eyes. It makes me look a little bit sick. And to me, like peachy or pinky concealers kind of counteract my dark circles better. This is one of the best concealers I have ever used. It does not crease under my eyes. It's freaking amazing, but the packaging drives me nuts. I love pumps on products. Like I love pumps on foundations. I love it. But the pump on this is so hard to work with because it's not a very smooth pump. Like, okay, it's your under eyes. You don't need a full crazy pump of this. You don't need a full-on pump because it's so pigmented and it goes such a long way that you need very little. But you cannot pump half a pump of this because it's too hard. It dispenses so much more product than you actually need, and you end up throwing away a lot of it. Like you end up just taking off most of it with a makeup wipe, and you're wasting product. So in turn, you're wasting money, you know? And I hate that it's glass. I've heard so many stories that it falls on the floor. A lot of people end up breaking theirs. I haven't yet. Knock on wood. Girl, I'm a clumsy mess. So this is the Maybelline Master Conceal by Face Studio Camouflaging Concealer. I have mine in fair. This one is really light for me right now, but like in the fall time, it was a little bit perfect. I think I bought it like during the fall or like winter. I don't know. It's kind of new, but kind of not. This is a great concealer. I love that it's in a squeezy tube. I use this one underneath my eyes as well. And I love it because it is full coverage. And when you're applying it for the first time, you're like, oh, this is really thick. I don't like it. But it blends really nicely. It sets nicely. I do have to set it immediately so it doesn't crease. Because if not, it will crease. But I just love the coverage. It's such a good coverage, but it doesn't feel super thick and cakey. So it's really nice. This is the Makeup Forever Full Cover Waterproof Concealer. This is a great concealer. You guys saw me use this, well, I don't know if you did, but you guys saw me use this for the first time in my Full Face Makeup Forever tutorial. I bought this because I didn't have a Makeup Forever concealer, and I wanted to use one underneath my eyes. And this, I have mine in the shade 4, which online it's called Flesh. This is a great concealer, but I would probably recommend it more for blemishes. If you have really, like really bad breakouts, I think this would be amazing because, girl, and boys, it is so full coverage. It says Extreme Camouflage Cream. Huh. This is full coverage. Oh my God. This will cover any breakout on your face 100%. And it's waterproof. I think it's a phenomenal blemish concealer. Not so much for the eyes, it's a little thick, but for your face, it's good. This is a tried and true. I've gone through multiples of these. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles Treatment Concealer. This is the concealer I have underneath my eyes right now. I feel like if you haven't tried this, go to the drugstore and try it. Every time I haven't used it for months and then I use it again, I'm like, why do I stop using you? You're amazing. I freaking love this. This does cover your dark circles pretty well. So it has really good coverage. It's not like super full coverage, but it has great coverage and the lightest formula ever. It's like such a light formula. It's really amazing to highlight with. It's really amazing to cover your dark circles. It's just a fantastic concealer. I have mine in fair. They also have a yellow one and a pink one. It's really, really good. Okay, so these are the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eyes. I have the regular one, and then I have the waterproof one. I have mine in light and neutral medium. Katie from like Luster Lux on YouTube loves it, so I feel like I want to give it another shot because she loves it. And it really covers her under eye circles like really well. I mean, it's good. It's really full coverage. It does say full coverage anti-aging concealer, and IT Cosmetics has really good ingredients. So I'm gonna give this another shot. It's super like tacky and thick, but I'm gonna try to work with it. So. And then the last thing I will be talking about in this video are my MAC Prep and Primes. These technically aren't concealers, but I'm going to mention them. Light Boost and Radiant Rose. The Light Boost is a yellow one, and the Radiant Rose is a pink one. I like the pink one more when I'm very, very fair, like when I'm my natural skin tone, like my milky skin tone, in the fall time, because the pink looks a little bit better underneath my eyes. But when I have a tan, when I got that olive skin going on, I like using the yellow one. I have this underneath my eyes today. I don't really use it in videos, but I use it a lot on a day-to-day basis to just highlight my face. So I'll just like, put it in between. That's what I have in between my forehead today. In between my eyebrows. Today, down my nose, on my chin. It's a great highlighting pen. Okay, so those were all the concealers I own. I know a little bit excessive. I'm a little bit exhausted. Leave me a comment down below with your Holy Grail concealer if it's not any of the ones I own. Like, if you're watching this video and you're like, I can't believe she doesn't own this concealer because I have it and it's amazing, leave me a comment down below and let me know what it is so I can check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. There was like somebody outside of my window. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.